And we are live. Welcome, everyone. This is your host, Abraham El Jaguar. In a few moments, I will do a sound check. First of all, this channel is proudly partnered with the What the Funk shop. Please check out their store for all sorts of products. They have dice, miniatures, Game Master screens, home decorations, and many other things. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment. And make sure that you use my code for a special discount. A moment, please, while I make the sound check. Sounds good. In the previous Mortal Shell stream, the sound was incredibly. It was really loud and clear, but during peak moments, the sound actually peaked. But now I have fixed that. So, White Album. What is White Album? White Album, for those of you that do not know, is, I would say, a pioneer in visual novels. A lot of people prefer White Album 2, but it makes sense because White Album started it all. White Album 2 built upon the solid foundation provided by White Album. It is a very different visual novel, and it has a greater scope as you explore the lives of the characters involved throughout the years. White Album is a bit shorter when it comes to the section of the timeline that is explored, but to me, it is much more impactful. I have yet to play White Album 2, but just taking a look at the complexities of the human relationships, I think a lot of people, hi Drelkag, welcome. I think a lot of people ignore the subtle hints in White Album. There was this video that showcased some moments from the anime. I actually watched the anime, I didn't play the visual novel. And I told the people in the video, but take a look at this part. Look at the hand of the woman, of the love interest. She's doing this, or take a look at her eyes. She moves her eyes in this direction at that exact moment. And take a look at how she leans. So I started to pointed out all of those details, and a lot of people were surprised. They were like, "Oh, I didn't notice that. That's incredible. You're correct. I didn't notice that." So I think that a lot of people approached White Album from a somewhat either uninformed or unprepared, and in some cases immature perspective, and that's why they prefer White Album 2, because White Album 2 is a bit more like a high school drama at the start, at least at the start, and that's always easier to understand from a rom-com perspective. But White Album 1, this is for adults. This is for adults and experienced adults, I would say. So let's get started. This is my first time playing it. This is a historical moment. Mhm. I have no idea how things are going to proceed. Oh, it's one of those games that starts with the screen reduced. I hate it when they do that. They should give me full screen on the very start. We will fix that in a moment in options. Mm-hmm. Kuapurasu. You have to do it in English, otherwise it doesn't sound right. Kuapurasu. Ah, that's it. I thought they were going to give me that, like the intro. You into visual novels? Not some of them, Drelkag, some of them. The thing about visual novels is that I do not play too many of them because sometimes I think if the writing isn't too good, I'm going to be wasting my time. But in the case like White Album, definitely, I am all for it. I am into it. Where's the option for full screen? There we go. Full window size, high quality, full screen. Uh-huh. Yes, and then what? Text speed. Do you play visual novels, Relka? Danganronpa? No, but I watched the anime for the first game. Maybe one day I will try them. But once you watch the anime, unless the story really hits you, I don't feel like as encouraged. But definitely, I should try them once, one of these days. Okay, so it's set. I said full screen. I like the more interactive ones. Have you played The House in Fata Morgana? Because that is a must play. That is a masterpiece. But it's really emotional. Be careful with the feels because that one really good visual novel. And now what? Enter, enter. What is J? Okay. No, but look at it. It's amazing, but it's incredibly tragic. It's full tragedy almost all the time. How do we? Because I want these settings, so it's not working. How do you? Uh-huh. Confirm with K. With K. Ah, what? With K. Where we go? Okay. Highest quality, high quality. Try borderless. Yes, but I think it was a bit like a glitch, but it's done. It's set. New game. New game. My new life in this new room starts today. I moved in and already almost done putting away all my stuff. What games confirm with K exactly? That's the most unintuitive. Confirm with function. Press the any key. And where's the any key? My new life in this new room starts today. I don't know how my parents got it in their heads, but I should move out in the autumn of my freshman year of college, but. And something that a lot of people miss about this main character, a lot of people say, oh, this main character, he sucks, he's so plain, he's an empty shell, but I don't know if they will reveal it, and I don't want to spoil things, but there is a very specific event that happened when the main character was a child that scarred him for life, particularly when it comes to his relationship with women, his connections with women. A lot of people look at those men that have relationships with so many women, and they immediately think they are the worst. They are the worst, the awful. But when you start to take a look at their personal history, you start to see that it does not come from a place of lust, but rather a great emotional damage. I don't know how my parents. Let's get over it. Let's get this over with. Ding dong. Who's that? My room's still a mess. Coming. I call out as I head for the door. Who could it be? Good morning, Toya. Oh, Yuki. I actually need to talk to you about something. Can I come in? Sure. Come on in. Everything's still a mess, though. It's fine. The girl with the warm smile is Yuki Morikawa. She's my girlfriend. Almost out of all of the girls, she's my least favorite one, to be quite honest. I am not aiming for her. Not only were we in the same class in high school, but she sat next to me. We'd often share our textbooks, help each other with homework, and engage in idle chit chat. Spending so much time together naturally led to us developing feelings for one another. Yuki was attending a special music school to study voice at the same time, so she usually went straight home after classes ended. And that's dating sim too. Aha, you have choices. Like how many women? Like five choices, five or four. And but depending, right? You are not getting a happy ending with all of them. You could say that you have a satisfactory ending with all of them, but yes, it depends. And that's what I don't like about Yuki. The start of the relationship is so like, oh, we just ended up together. It lacks that spice, that pizzazz. Let's see, Drelkak says, Danganronpa, the game is so much better than anime when you're figuring out clues yourself. They got a body system, no dating, but it's really in depth. Wow, even that makes me want to play it even more because I like those sorts of things. Detective games, I am all for that for complex mystery solving. Despite being one of the most gorgeous girls at our school, gorgeous? What? Her introverted personality kept most of the boys at bay. She's not particularly gorgeous, and she has that, what they say, the guitar pick face. You know, you take a guitar pick and put the point downwards. Okay. You are probably wondering how we ended up together. It happened on our way home after school. And the anime girls always hold their briefcases like that. Briefcases, school bags. I hate her, yeah. We were walking together side by side when she suddenly stopped. What's wrong? Nothing, it's just like she'd never been down this street before. She slowly glanced around before speaking. This just feels weird. Huh? We talk all the time, but I think this is the first time we've ever walked home together. I was a little taken aback. At the time, we still weren't that close, and I wouldn't say we talked that much. But it's not like I was completely unaware of the tension between us. I was just thinking about how much we must look like a couple. I cracked a joke, trying to carry on the conversation. However, all I did was kill it entirely. When in doubt, don't talk. That's the secret. Silence, speak volumes. I couldn't help but notice her fingers, firmly wrapped around the handle of her school bag. Especially when it comes to women. Women like to talk a lot. You know this. You know this. So as a man, when you keep quiet, that adds more to the conversation. You also want to talk, but when in doubt, silence. I remember thinking how beautiful and slender they were. That's when I realized she'd taken a deep breath. It was like she was getting ready to say something important. And that is so great about the Japanese. What would you say? What the Japanese consider so great about women? A lot of them, they like women that they look like little flowers that they're about to break. That's why some characters, some more voluptuous, thick characters, only certain Japanese men of culture appreciate those characters. Like for example, in the Time Manin series, Akiyama Rinko. Wow, have you seen the body of Akiyama Rinko? Wow, what a waifu! But in the West, and I know YouTube isn't going to like it when I speak these things. YouTube has actually demonetized some of my videos because of the things that I mentioned or reduced my income. That's why I am so thankful to you, my supporters, my channel members. You're keeping this thing alive. But back to that, Rinko is so sexy, and it's one of the least preferred girls in Japan. But here in the West, she's one of the top waifu. So interesting differences in appreciation of the female body. For a while now, she finally opened her mouth to speak. YouTube, 2PC, definitely. I've had feelings for you, Fuji. And That's it. That's it? Okay. He giggled nervously. If I was being honest, I'd been feeling the same way about Yuki, so I answered right away. I like you, too. And then I wasn't sure how to continue. My words just trailed off into silence. It's weird that I said it in the past tense, huh? He said. How about we switch to present tense from now on? He gave a small nod in response to my statement, and we both blushed. Oh, that's adorable. That's basically how we became a couple. You see, when you see the romance with the other girls, this one is so plain. They're like, oh, let's become a couple. Yeah, let's. Hmm. Hehehe. What's wrong? You got quite quiet all of a sudden. Oh, it's nothing. We both got into the same university after high school, and our relationship continued. Sometimes I think Yuki is the perfect girlfriend. Hmm. If you say so, my man. Not only is she adorable, but I love hanging out with her, and she always goes out of her way to spend time with me. But of course, the main character is fooling himself, otherwise, we wouldn't have a visual novel with various romantic options. I definitely get the feeling that she likes me way more than I like her, though. And she's actually the hardest, the most difficult route. If you want to romance Yuki, you need a walkthrough. Anyway, what did you want to talk to me about that couldn't wait? She just dropped in randomly. You could have waited until after we started classes. I know, actually, you see, I'm going to be making my debut as an idol. You what? What? You know Eiji Ogata, right? The head of Ogata Productions. He represents Rina Ogata too. That Eiji Ogata also has a very complex background history. Perhaps you can only explore it if you romance his sister Rina Ogata. But his background, he's such a mess psychologically speaking. Imagine being so affected psychologically to the point that your vision, what you actually see in real life, is completely distorted. Like, if imagine if you were to look at your hand and you're not seeing your hand, you're seeing someone else's hand entirely. That's how damaged Eiji Ogata is. And he looks so cool. He looks so calm and in control in the exterior, but in the inside, he's a mess. Always an idol in visual novels. That, yeah, real Kagagi agree. That's a very Japanese thing to do. Oh yeah. Well, he decided to take me on. His company will be representing me. And I actually distrust idols a lot because that's my personal take on things. But idols had to do a lot to get to that position, if you know what I am saying. They need to compromise many things. If you want to make it big, if you're a bit like what they call a small time idol or an indie idol or a niche idol, I think that's much better. But the most famous idols, once the dirty laundry starts to come out, they have been through a lot. Seriously? Yeah. There are videos about that in YouTube, some very interesting videos, with evidence, of course. Wow, that's really great news, Yuki. For some reason, she seems way less excited than me. Actually, Drelkak, don't trust me on this. Verify that on your own. I need to verify that as well. But as I understand it, I think either the author of Danganronpa or one of the people involved in Danganronpa had a scandal related to a voice actress. I need to look into it, and don't take this as like set in stone, but one of the people involved in Danganronpa, if I remember correctly, I need to find that documentary again, was involved in a bit of a scandal once. For some reason, she seems way less excited than me. The bad news is I might not be able to. No, 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 that's not Danganronpa. I apologize. It was another game entirely. I remember. In the video, they said similar to Danganronpa, but it was not. Take that back. It was another mystery video game. The bad news is I might not be able to spend as much time with you anymore. Oh, I get it now. I don't remember the name of the other mystery game. I'll see if I can find it. I get it now. She's not just my Yuki anymore. Don't let that stop you from giving it your all, I mean. You busted your butt to get this far, right? Yeah. Not that I won't miss her. But I know you can do it, and I'll be rooting for you. Uh-huh. Yes, it wasn't Danganronpa, it was some other game. I thought about Danganronpa because in that documentary, or how would you say, report, they mentioned similar to Danganronpa, and that's why I thought about it. But one of those obscure titles, you know how some Japanese visual novels have very long titles and they are not really connected to the game. Like for example, White Album. A lot of people think about the Beatles, White Album, or music, right? Because maybe it's a musical album. Because there is a lot of singing in this game, or singing within the background, within the theme. But the White Album actually refers, in the lyrics of the main theme, White Album, it refers to having this album that is blank. No pictures, because you waste so much time. Instead of spending time with the ones that you love, your album, your photographic album is blank. No precious moments to be had. And it says, I know you can do it, and I'll be rooting for you. But don't worry, it might be tough, but we'll work toward making both of our dreams come true. I ruffle her hair gently. Okay. And I don't get the Japanese. They like to pet women's head. And according to anime and visual novels and manga, Japanese women like it when you ruffle their heads, when you pet them. Like in VTubers, right? You have that option that when someone donates money, you get to pet the head of the VTuber. That's so weird. I don't feel turned on by that. What is it? Never in my life. I never felt like that. How would you say? Tendency, instinct to do that. In other cases, of course, right? It depends on the context. In some things in some activity that YouTube probably don't like it when I mention it, especially when it comes to Aries women of the Aries zodiac sign, they love it when you touch their heads in that particular activity. But outside from that, no. I don't understand the head rub exactly. I don't know. The Japanese have so many weird things to them. YouTube don't hate me for saying this, but yes, it's weird. Okay. She beams happily at me. Well, Drellcake, supposedly. I think it also applies to men, but you like it, tell your girlfriend or wife or whatever to touch your head when you are doing the thing, when you are doing the activity, and you're going to get that extra manly drive. Hmm. A chick. And I mean the head up here, right? Not to mistake things. The head. I was dreaming the same dream I keep having of that day. I didn't think it hit me quite that hard, but considering how many times I've dreamt of it lately, I guess I just didn't realize it. Another interesting detail about Aries people is that they usually have like a very noticeable mole. There's like a beauty mark or mole. A lot of anime women that are Aries, they also put that mole, like a small mole, on the side of their eyes. So very interesting. I didn't think it hit me quite that hard, but considering how many times I've dreamt of it lately, I guess I just didn't realize it. I shake my head briskly. What's with this mood first thing in the morning? Might not have seen each other in a while, but she's always just a call away. Besides, I can always see her singing on TV whenever I turn it on. And this is the beginning of the main character, Toya, feeling so overwhelmed. He wanted a girlfriend, but now his girlfriend belongs to the world. And she has no time for him. And that also generates an inferiority complex on his part because he's just an average guy. And his girlfriend is so famous, potentially rich later on. Not an easy thing to digest. Years passed since that day, and the thing has grown far more popular than I ever could have imagined. He's a constant presence on TV and in music stores all over the country. I can't walk anywhere without seeing Yuki's face or hearing her voice. And you even get attacked because of these sorts of situations. For example, Tom Holland. I just watched in a video that Tom Holland decided not to walk alongside his girlfriend in the red carpet. He said, "I don't want to steal her spotlight." Makes sense, it is all about her. Let her have her moment, not as a couple, but on her own. And now people are attacking him, saying that he's so arrogant, that he thinks he's greater than her, that he's going to overshadow her or outshine her if he goes on the red carpet. So you really can't win with those people. Be it video footage, songs, posters, or whatever. So there's no reason for me to be sad. No, there is, because now your potence as a man, when it comes to the spotlight, is being exposed. It is to yourself. You are becoming self-aware, that you will never reach that level of notoriety. So there's no reason for me to be sad. Or so I tell myself as I enthusiastically jump up from bed. There's no point thinking about this so early. Have to get to class. Now it starts. The main song. Well, no, this is not the main theme. This is not White Album, but it's one of the songs. YouTube, do not copyright strike this video. This is not what you think it is. This is for recreational purposes. This is a gameplay video for enjoyment and reviewing. Everything is owned by Plus. I do not own the material in this video. Do not take it down. Do not demonetize the video. I'm going for Yayoi, I think. There are some great romance options here. You have Rina Ogata. You have the new girl that I don't remember. You have Mana for the lolicons. This one, Isaragi Sayoko. They say she's a really good option, but there is a lot of sadness to her route. We shall see. But for now, I am aiming for Yayoi. Yayoi is the more mature person. This one. And she's pretty broken inside. So she's very interesting to explore from a psychological angle. A lot of people misinterpret her approaches to the main character. Hey, Toya, morning. As I leave the train station, I'm stopped by the sound of a familiar voice. Yuki, do you have classes today? I could have sworn she mentioned she had a photo shoot. By the way, can I save the game? How do you save? Yeah, it was cancelled from what I heard. The production company is having some problems, so it'll probably be a while before it's rescheduled. Can I save the game? How can I save it? F1? How did I activate that? Space? Alt? Control? Function? How do we save the game? With us? No. Enter? No, no, no. You don't look so happily delivering such serious news. That still doesn't explain why you're here. Why aren't you at home taking advantage of your time off? Oh, I activated auto mode. Careful, because enter is auto mode. What about backspace? Nothing? Caps? Tab? Q, A, W, S, E, D, R, F, P, G, Y, H, U. U is showing the backlog. And J showing the backlog. And I. No. And K, look at me, pretending like I don't care she's here. It's O. This game is so weird in the inputs. It's O. It's actually O. O. Why is it O? Why is O the menu? Why? Options? Well, moving on from that. Oh no. Look at me, pretending like I don't care she's here. In reality, I'm actually overjoyed. Hanging around at home by myself is boring. I figured if I went to school, I could find some company. Well, yes, because there are people at school. Japanese games and keyboard commands are something else indeed. That's part of the fun, figuring out that that's a mystery on its own. And with a smile reminiscent of a heroine in a comic for girls, she says, "And would you look at that? I found you, Toya." Because back then we didn't have cell phones. For those that are younger, back then, kids, we didn't have cell phones. You need to find someone, you needed to run all over the place. Where are you? Yuki! Well, and that particular section of the timeline, right? There are some mysteries concerning ancient technology. She immediately attaches herself to my arm. I see, so you're telling me the famous Yuki Morikawa came all the way to this fine house of learning just to hang out? Come on, don't say it like that. She aggressively yanks on my arm. Slightly embarrassed, I let her drag me along, stumbling weakly behind her. I thought I might run into everyone else too. I wonder, what's she talking about? Once we enter the building, it doesn't take long before we run into one of these mysterious everyone else. Haruka! I call out to the shadow figure of a girl hugging a duffel bag to her chest. Recognizing my voice, she turns and slowly approaches us. Morning. It's been a while, Yuki. So Haruka is one of the love interests? I also don't like her too much. Perhaps that will be revealed later on, but she is related to the main character's trauma. It was the three of them, if I remember correctly. Yuki, Haruka, and Toya, the main character. They experienced something. Not to spoil things, they experienced something when they were very little, and that's where the trauma began. So Haruka is either autistic, or she ended up scarred too. Because she's very weird. I know, right? It seems like I just started school yesterday. The girl with the sleepy voice smiling at Yuki is Haruka Kawashima. And she's very weird. This girl... guys could do things to her, let's put it like that, in order to avoid the algorithm. They could do things to her. And she would be almost like nonchalant, almost like a doll. Some people say that Yayoi, or the main character even compares Yayoi to a doll, but I think Haruka is more doll-like in that regard. She's been a close friend of mine since elementary school. When I say we're close, I don't mean like how Yuki and I are. We are so uninterested in each other that you'd probably find our picture in the dictionary under platonic relationship. We've always roughhoused outside since we were kids, never once playing with dolls or any normal girly stuff. So she's a bit of a tomboy. You look like a completely different person when Yuki's with you, Toya. You should have come to school more often if it gets rid of that permanent look of boredom on your face. That's rich coming from someone who always sounds like she's falling asleep. Exactly. You should try and sound more like the athlete you apparently are, Haruka. Hmm? He gives me a strange look. She then drops her gaze to her bag. Which you go for? I'm going for Yayoi. Mostly, well, apart from the fact that Yayoi is the hottest in my opinion, or one of the hottest, let's say that she's one of the hottest. Because us men, we are not fooling anyone. We like when women are pretty, sexy. We like it, we love it. But putting that aside, Yayoi, there is so much passion within Yayoi that she cannot get out because of the professional situations she has gone through. That it's a very interesting case study from psychology, from a psychological angle, and that's why I want to go through her route. And if you were to ask me, would you go out with her in real life? Only if we manage to break through all of those, that stifled passion, that barrier that keeps her from letting that passion out. Only then, perhaps I would try dating her once or twice. And if that doesn't work out during those couple of days, if I am unable to break that ice wall, then I would abandon her. I would consider it to be a lost cause. She gives me a strange look. She then drops her gaze to her bag. I'm just carrying my lunch in this thing. Who the hell cares? And she's like, oh. Yuki seems embarrassed. Well, I got class, so she does her usual thing of abruptly ending the conversation before walking off without a single look back. Has Haruka been up to anything lately? Nope, she never is. I guess she took it seriously when I called Haruka an athlete earlier. She's got an athletic build, and she's certainly talented. But an unfortunate accident in high school led to her giving up her beloved tennis forever. So you could say there are two traumas: her accident and what happened during the childhood segment. Her brother, a fellow tennis player who she was very close to, died tragically in an accident. I'm pretty sure that's when it all started. Ever since, Haruka has been the listless, unmotivated person she is today. Ah, that's interesting. I think I had forgotten about that. Like I said, I only watched the anime. That explains her doll-like behaviors. She feels a bit dead inside. I'm sure there are things she wants to do. Better to just let her live life the way she wants. I smiled back at Yuki, turning on my usual feigned, unconcerned neutrality. Since we still have time before classes start, we head to the student lounge for a chat. When we arrive, we find a familiar face waiting for us. Hey, morning, Yuki's here too? The guy looking up from the papers spread out on the table before him is Akira Nanase. It's a trap! Watch out, it's a trap! He's another close friend of ours, going way back. We've gone to the same school from grade school all the way to university. I have another paper due today, but please take a seat. Thank you, my good man. My good manly man. Okay. We both sit down in the chairs he waves us over to. That's why I told you to drop that class. I've heard the professor is pretty lenient when it comes to attendance, but assigns way too many papers. Look, I was woefully naive, okay? He gives me a lopsided grin. That kind of expression on his face makes him look almost like a girl. You don't say. Just like with Haruka, his gender is unimportant to me. I do know that Akira has a healthy and appropriate awareness of the opposite gender for his age. Unlike Haruka, though, I doubt anyone would believe me. Oh, well, I should take a break anyway. Yes, take a break, do some exercise, stop eating soy, stop eating beans, stop eating peanuts, and recover that testosterone. Akira, I'll go get us some drinks. Any requests? Just as he stands up, someone extra special enters the lounge. Oh, hey, Misaki. I call her name. Upon noticing us, she approaches our table. Misaki is also pretty good, I would say, as a love interest. So it really was you guys. I was walking past outside when I saw someone who looked just like you, so I decided to investigate. Mostly because of her warm attitude, but when it comes to her flaw, she hasn't learned how to hate. She probably hates herself, but if you take a look at all of the people in the world, not only women, people in the world that have problems with stalkers and the like, they still need to develop that killer edge. Once you learn how to hate people, you become dangerous. You let that anger flow. This is science fiction YouTube. You let that anger flow and you take action in the appropriate ways. And Misaki has a tendency to be stuck. So it really was you guys. And Yuki's here too. Good morning, Yuki. Thanks. The girl who just walked in is Misaki Sawakura. She's a year older than us. Misaki went to Hotarugasaki Academy. Oh, that's a word, right? That's a mouthful. Hotarugasaki Academy with me. Which means everyone here, along with a couple of others who are missing, all grew up attending the same school. Feel free to join us, Misaki. I was about to go pick up some drinks. Do you want anything? After listening to our requests one by one, Akira heads off in the direction of the vending machine. Fun fact, Misaki is the only woman Akira has a huge crush on. Unfortunate, because Misaki goes a bit for the manlier types. It was doomed from the start, right? For that guy. But he's so good at feigning indifference that no one knows. I bet not even Yuki, chattering away beside me, has even the faintest idea. I remember how surprised I was back in high school when he secretly confided in me. Aside from her being a year older, I didn't realize he had any romantic interest in the opposite gender. They changed him from the anime. In the anime, he looks a lot manlier. Even though he's a bit effeminate, he still has a deeper voice. And he has a manlier attitude. So they really pulled a fast one there. Do you have classes today, Misaki? In the afternoon. There's a couple deadlines I didn't want to miss. So I figured I'd stop by the library for a little study session ahead of time. And you can see that Misaki is somewhat thick. She wears those clothes, but just use your third eye and you can see the curves beneath. Yuki nods, seemingly impressed. She's been a devout fangirl of Misaki since high school. She really looks up to her, especially since Misaki's taught Yuki so much about cooking and other stuff. Despite her unassuming and mild-mannered personality, far more so than Yuki, she's well liked by basically everyone and has quite a few fans. Let me save the game. Saving. Successful. Misaki being so kind to Yuki, a fellow lady, only makes Yuki more of a target in the eyes of said fans. And of course, both girls are completely oblivious to the drama around them. Oh, and it is time to save the game. I didn't notice it was so late, more or less. Because this is going to mess up my schedule, I'll have to quit for the moment. I'll see if we can continue tomorrow or the day after. Thank you, Drellcag, for watching this live stream, and thanks to everyone else. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the super thanks button. Like, subscribe, take a look at the information in the description, the pinned comment. You guys keep the channel going, especially now that I am taking on other subjects, other games. I want to get into some spicy games. Obviously, those are going to be recorded sessions that I will be censoring various parts, but you definitely help me fight the YouTube algorithm. And this has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar. And remember, level up in game and level up in life. Once again, thank you, Drellcag, thank you everyone. See you in about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I am going to be streaming Triangle Strategy, or Triangle Parlay, as Drellcag said, Triangle Parlay. See you later.